I really liked Layla Hermosi's post yesterday. So she put a post out about what she felt like she did well, what she felt like she didn't do well, and kind of what she was looking forward to. And so I kind of gave that some thought yesterday and today. And I told Sheik before we go to dinner, let's just go live and put it out there so that I have it to remind myself throughout the next year what I'm working towards. So that's what we were gonna do. So let's do it. Let's talk about 2023 in a recap.
And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end.
I would say that I did some things well, but I definitely did some things maybe not so well. I definitely started out 2023, with this mentality of I want to grow my business and I want to do well and I'm going to do it. But unfortunately, I had this inner demon in me, I think, that was like, I don't know, can you do it? Because when I started my practice on my own at the end of 2022, there were a few people, unfortunately, that did not believe in me and just got me in a bad headspace. When I started 2023, we had a little issue in our practice to begin with, so nobody's perfect, right? So I had a new clinic manager and we just had a lot of new things going on. And so Rob and I were actually in Mexico last year for New Year's, and we ended up coming home early because we were just having so many issues with the practice. We couldn't even enjoy our vacation. And so I kind of started 2023 feeling like a failure, to be honest with you. I just felt like, everything should be perfect and it wasn't going perfect. And, I thought I'm gonna start this practice and everything's gonna be great because I'm a perfectionist and I'm a type A, and that's just how it's gonna work. And I'm here to tell you that if you're ever gonna start a business and that's your mindset, you're definitely going to fail. And you're gonna be very disappointed because stuff happens. And no matter what, you can't plan for everything. And so it took me a lot of 2023 to figure this out. So I would say probably even in March and April, I was in a really bad headspace. I was starting to contemplate, like, should I have done this? I don't know. Maybe I bit off more than I could chew. There's a lot more to this than I thought there was gonna be. It's so hard. And I remember having multiple conversations with Rob, my husband, and just saying, I don't wanna do this anymore. Like, this is hard. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I should do something else. I feel like a failure. I'm not succeeding. And he kind of told me, Cassie, it's gonna be a lot more difficult than you ever thought it was gonna be, but this is what you love. And if this is what you love, then we'll just keep figuring out how to solve problems. And for me, that was really hard because, again, I'm a perfectionist. So a lot of you females out there, maybe even males, you can relate to this, right? So we're perfectionists and we don't want to mess up, and we're worried when we mess up what we're going to look like, right? I spent most of my 20s being afraid of what people thought about me, and a lot of my 30s too. And I think it took until about halfway through this year for me to finally realize, you know what, this is actually what I love doing, and I'm not going to do everything perfectly, and I'm learning, and so I'm just gonna take every day as it comes, and that's all you can do. And so I think probably until May or June of this year, I was in a pretty bad headspace. But then I got in the right headspace thanks to, a lot of self-help stuff that I've worked on because of my husband and some of the people that I follow. And I finally got in a good headspace. And thankfully, I have a lot of people that support me and are good friends with Rob and I that have been okay with that. I can tell you that in February of this year, I felt like a huge failure because our friends Kayla and Jacob that are here, we had this great trip planned. We were gonna go to Napa for Jacob's birthday, and right before we were gonna go, Rob and I bailed because I was having all these issues with work, and I felt like a huge failure to them and our friendship, and they were so great. They were just like, you know what, it's not a big deal. They went, they had a good time. They didn't hold it against us. They're here with us right now. The beginning of 2023 was rough for me, I would say, because I felt like I needed to be perfect. And I felt like I was gonna just start this practice and everything was gonna go great and I was gonna crush it. But then I feel like the things that I've learned this year have been so empowering and great. So I've learned to be vulnerable. I've learned that, not everything is perfect. If you are somebody who expects perfectionism, then I'm not the person to follow because I'm not perfect. I try to live by the 80-20 rule. So, 80% of the time, I'm gonna do pretty good job, but then 20% of the time my diet might not be perfect. I think that is a lot of what I've learned this year. And so I'm very happy to say that I'm in a much better headspace now. I've been a lot better with my health. I was not nice to myself at the beginning of this year. I was not sleeping like I was supposed to be. I was not eating like I was supposed to be. I was not exercising like I was supposed to be, although I was telling you guys to do that. I wasn't doing that. It doesn't work personally. Like, the person that I want to be is the person that I talk about. And so thankfully I've changed all that. So I've went back to sleeping very well and putting myself first, prioritizing myself, eating well, exercising. I've gained a lot of muscle this second half of 2023, thanks to some of the people that have been working with me. So shout out to a couple of the people that have helped me. Logan with Goody Beats and I Am Beefcake. They both have been very helpful in getting me back on track and helping me gain muscle. I'm thankful to my husband who has supported me, and I have these crazy days where things don't go well and then he talks sense into me. But I feel like 2023, I've learned a lot about myself. There's been a lot of personal growth. I know that I don't have to be perfect. I'm okay with that. And I'm just really, really pumped to educate people more, because I feel like that's one of my passions, is health, wellness, and education. I'm reading a book right now by John Maxwell. It's about leadership. And he talks about, you're a true leader and you get to this place in life when you figure out what you're put on this earth to do, and then you're doing those things. That's what fulfills you. And so I feel like I was put here, not to be perfect and not to judge myself, but to just live and teach people about wellness. And then if I'm teaching you guys about wellness and health, but I'm also living that, it comes together. It just makes me feel better on the inside and makes me be able to serve you guys better. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for some other opportunities that we've been talking about, throwing around. So, I'm still working on the podcast, and I am going to get that going this year. I'm working on a lot of training modules for patients and providers, and I'm super excited about that. I think that will help a lot of people to be able to, know what labs mean and what labs they should get tested and how I would interpret that, because unfortunately I can't see all the people that reach out to me for a lot of reasons, medical law reasons and just different things, but I want to be able to help as many people as possible. So I'm going to try really hard to get that put together so people have something to go to and reference. Sheik and I were just kicking around some other ideas about maybe some wellness retreats and different things. So I'm very excited about what Modern Endocrine has coming for 2024. The other thing that I'm going to do for sure is I'm going to invest in my team a little bit more. I will tell you, I just made some mistakes in December and just even last week. There are just some things in our office, some different things with leadership and things that needed to change, and I'm glad to say that we're getting that changed, but I'm really dedicated to helping grow some of the people on my team because I have a phenomenal team of people around me. I'm so lucky, and I have some people that I really want to pour into and help develop as leaders, and I have a great consultant who's going to help me do that. So I'm super excited about just developing and growing my team, because your team is a reflection of you, and so I have some awesome people I want to pour into this year, and then just continue to teach you guys, and also continue to grow myself and continue to just become happier and healthier. And well, we've had our ups and downs, right? But we've learned for sure. So I'm super excited for 2024 though.